Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Bears on Tap, a podcast about the Chicago Bears presented to you by On Tap Sportsnet. I'm your host, Brandon Suarez. You can follow me on Twitter at Bdon300, and you can follow my co-host, Quinten, at Butkus Stats. We have an action-packed episode, quite a few things to touch on. We'll start with the Hall of Fame, a little bit of Senior Bowl, because obviously Quinten had more to see after we last spoke last week. Obviously, the Super Bowl is this weekend, so we'll touch on that. But we have a shiny new toy that Quinten unveiled earlier this week, and I think I'll just let him take it from here. But we're gonna get into that shiny new toy on this episode.
Yeah, shiny new toy out at ontapsportsnet.com. Off-season simulator. Go check it out. You can make all the roster cuts that you want, even make a trade for a wide receiver if you so desire. Trade away draft picks. Really, you can make a trade for anyone if you're ambitious enough to just write someone in that you want to make a trade for and figure out the cap implications. And sign free agents. All the contract info for potential free agents is projected in there. Big thanks to Brad Spielberger over at PFF for the outstanding work he does and giving me the chance to project cap hits off of it, because that's all you're going to see in there. But go check out his articles if you're going to do it, because he does an outstanding job projecting the contracts. And go do the simulator. It's fun. It's a realistic look at what you might be able to do with the Bears roster, assuming that every free agent that you talk to is just instantly willing to sign with the Bears.
Two things. A lot of NFL announcements, because the awards are going on right now, are just hammering my phone. But check out Quinten's first, and then, like you said, go over to PFF. But Quinten's first, obviously, shameless plug. But Super Bowl narrative that could be painting itself right now. A man by the name of Patrick Mahomes just got crowned NFL MVP. And we talked about narratives last week. We'll get into the Super Bowl towards the end of the show. But a man that we are all feeling for right now is a guy that I'm wearing the jersey of, Devin Hester, number 23. And the Hall of Fame class was announced this evening, if you will, and Devin Hester was not on that class. So obviously all Bears fans are going to be initially disappointed, because no matter where you were at in your life, when you saw Devin Hester, he was the most electric Bear that you've seen at any point. He might still be the most electric Bear of all time. And he was, in a sense, positionless, because we really just used him a lot on special teams. He wasn't a great corner. Couldn't really catch when we used him on offense. But
I think he could have been a great corner, though.
He could have been.
I'm still upset that they ever did that. But
he wasn't terrible at Miami, but you just knew him. I remember when I heard that we drafted him, and it was a second-round pick, and I'm just okay, I don't care. I watched enough college football, and that was the era where Miami was the year. That was college football. It was Miami, Florida State, all those schools down in the South. And it's disappointing. You got to hope, and it's a lot better of a system than the MLB. As long as nothing crazy happens, Devin Hester will eventually have his day. But it just kind of sucks that, in his position, the one-off kind of guy, because you can really only compare him to Dante Halls, Josh Cribbs, those type of guys that didn't really have a great positional career, but in special teams, they were that dude. Mm-hmm. Devin Hester was number one. Cordero Patterson's another guy. He's a little bit better at positional now, but special team, I'm not saying Cordero Patterson will be a Hall of Famer, but maybe the only guy that was listed before that could have had the same impact that I'll say that was less of a position player was Cribbs or Hall. But still, Devin Hester, man, incredible, and it's bullshit that he's not in, but he'll live to see another day, hopefully.
Yeah, he'll get in.
Yeah,
I'm not at all concerned about whether he gets in. It's just a question of when. And I think next year's class is going to be a lot easier as far as the first-time guys go, just because this year's class was stacked. I mean, you look at the finalists, and you're sitting here saying 3/4 of these guys are Hall of Famers. I mean, Jared Allen, Rondé Barber, Dwight Freeney, Hester, Torrey Holt, Andre Johnson, Darrelle Revis, Joe Thomas, Zach Thomas, DeMarcus Ware, Reggie Wayne, Patrick Willis, Darren Woodson. And then there's also Albert Lewis and Willie Anderson, who I'm not as familiar with, so that I didn't say them initially. But it's a
banger.
Monster.
It's a banger of a class. And then the people that were selected, so Rondé Barber, at least on that list, because there's coaches and stuff that got inducted as well. But Rondé Barber, Chuck Howley, former Bear, 1958-59. Little love. Joe Klecko, Darrell Revis. I almost just hit him with the Darrell. Jesus, that's awful. Ken Riley, Joe Thomas, Zach Thomas, DeMarcus Ware. A very beefy class, if you will. A lot of beef on that class. But
what a day for those Texas Tech Red Raiders, man.
Oh, yeah.
Patrick Mahomes wins MVP. Zach Thomas finally makes the Hall of Fame. It's a beautiful day to be a Red Raider.
Don't look now. It can only go downhill from here because I've seen a lot of Jalen Hurts propaganda, and I am a Bang Bang Bird Gang this weekend. I don't care. I am big Jalen Hurts this weekend. I will be an egg on my face guy, but we can't both agree on our Super Bowl pick, right? We talked about it last week, but
I'm all aboard the KC train, man.
Oh, yeah. No. And, Joey, where do you ride? Have you decided on your team? And for those of you that don't know, it's Joey's waiting in the whims with his wit. What do you have?
Look, I mean, 2 out of 3 of us will agree.
I'll fly alone, man.
You're flying alone, my friend. I'm going with the Chiefs. I'm not like completely sold on the Chiefs. I think it's very much a toss-up game. But yeah, man, I think Mahomes. It's just he's been there, his experience. He's lost one as well. Hurts hasn't been there yet. The Eagles, I know they have a pretty deep roster, but give me the best quarterback in the game.
Patrick Mahomes never got benched and became a superstar afterwards.
Side note, if you're out there thinking about betting Jalen Hurts for Super Bowl MVP, don't do it. Save your money. Just bet Eagles money line.
Yeah, because
the odds are worse on Jalen Hurts MVP than they are for the Eagles to just win. And if they don't win, he's not winning MVP. If they win, he might win MVP.
Exactly. But yeah, a lot going on. So like I said, you got the awards going on. The Hall of Fame class is announced. A good class. A lot of those guys we watched growing up. Like I remember Rondé Barber. I remember Zach Thomas. Just a little bit. One of my favorite linebackers. Another good 54 down there with the Dolphins.
You know who else's favorite linebacker he was?
You?
Guy by the name of Brian Urlacher.
Wow, that makes sense. That's probably why Urlacher wore 54.
Yep. Urlacher wanted to go to Texas Tech because he grew up watching Zach Thomas. And
he was a Lobo, right? New Mexico Lobo.
Yep.
Yeah. Dak just got Walter Payton Man of the Year. That's good. Good for Dak. But yeah, Hall of Fame wise, I'm not. Other than Hester not getting in, like DeMarcus Ware was a force, and then you remember too, he had that resurgence at the end of his career with the Broncos. So
yeah,
a good class. Hester will have his day, but I just still want that day to be today. It sucks, but it is what it is. But yeah, other than that, what else did you take away from the Senior Bowl? Because we talked, I think it was Thursday or Wednesday last week. Obviously, you saw a little bit more before you left. Anything that you want to bring up on the show?
I mean, just that I wish the Bears still ran a 4-3 so they could draft Will McDonald, but because he's a monster, but he's only about 240 pounds. I'm not sure he could play with his hand in the dirt.
No,
not against the run at least. But outside of that, I mean, Darnell Wright's an absolute monster, an offensive tackle. I am a big fan of Keanu Benton out of Wisconsin. That he just affirmed my priors basically there, and also did that for a lot of other people. One of the more interesting guys to me was Adetomiwa Adebawore.
Is that the kid from Northwestern?
So when I watched his tape, I only watched one game, and it was the Michigan game from this past year, and I was just seeing her being like, what the hell is this guy doing? Like, his feet were all over the place. He was like chopping his hands around, like that's helping him with his pass rush, and he was just eating up 2 seconds of his pass rush dancing. And it was just like, I was really low on him coming into the Senior Bowl. But at the Senior Bowl, like for the practices, he kicked inside a 3 technique and started dominating. Like he was kicking ass.
I saw a video, man, that I will not name names, but I did see the video, and I will not look at it ever again. But like I said before the show a couple weeks ago, best center in the nation didn't allow a sack in his whole career. Just saying. My brother sent me that.
Did he eat up JMS?
Oh my! No, he ate up Jared Patterson.
Wait, what?
You were talking
Patterson. Jared Patterson.
You were talking about the kid from Northwestern, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, he Yeah, I was not too happy to see that. But
Yeah.
I did have to remind my brother that that's a guy that did not allow a sack his entire career at Notre Dame.
So
he didn't have the most mobile quarterback.
That rep was on day 3, and Patterson was in quicksand on day 3, man. Because day one, he was playing guard all day. Didn't have a good day. Because I personally, I don't think he's a guard. I think he's a center.
Yeah.
Day 2, played only center and actually looked really good. And I was high on Patterson coming into this and hoping for him to have a good showing because I'm really rooting for the kid. And on day 3, they put him back at guard, and it was just like it just went downhill again. I just don't know if he has the power to play guard in the NFL, and I don't know that a team should ask him to do that. I think he's a center through and through and can be a good center.
I need Joey to pull up a picture of Jared Patterson. We'll give him a second to do it, but I have to ask you while Joey is doing it. Did you get a chance to see him helmet off?
No, man. I was trying to get an interview with him on day 3, but he was, as soon as practice ended, he was gone.
Bro, he looks like a young athletic version of Big Cat. Joey, whenever you're ready, drop the picture of Jared Patterson on the stream because he is a young athletic version of Big Cat.
And a few other notes, I guess. Yaya Diaby's a guy I'm interested in for the Bears, for sure.
We did talk about that last week.
End. John Michael Schmitz is a guy I wasn't as high on going into this as everyone. Like I was kind of the Debbie Downer on him, who was like, I didn't like his tape, but he impressed me. He definitely impressed me. And I'm still trying to get my hands on his 2022 tape, which is what everyone is so sold on. I've only seen the 2021. So if you know where I can find the 2022 tape, let me know. But
hit the DMs.
It's really hard to judge a center off broadcast view, so I try not to.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
And then Matt Bergeron. I think Matt Bergeron is going to be a real option for the Bears in the second round. He showed some stonewall power that I did not see on his tape previously, and he showed versatility to play inside and outside. So he kicked into guard one day, looked good, very mobile, and he was handling his business just fine at tackle as well. Then let's see. Wanya Morris is a guy who I think could be a pick for fit for the Bears as well, probably in like the 3rd or 4th round. He's just smooth, man. He's smooth, athletic, fits the zone blocking scheme they want, and was just impressive. From the start of his season at Oklahoma this year till now, he's done nothing but get better, and that's just impressive. And he was a 4-star recruit, I think. He went to Tennessee, transferred out of Tennessee after 2 years to Oklahoma. Dealt with some suspension stuff, I believe, at Oklahoma, but this past year, it was like he just continued to get better and better and better.
Just put his head down and grinded, yeah.
Yeah. And then one last guy, who was it? I just had it and I lost it. Cody Mock. Cody Mock's another guy who could be a real fit for the Bears.
Ugly son of a bitch. He is a real offensive lineman.
He's probably a guard in the NFL or a center. He played some center at the Senior Bowl, which he'd never played before, and he looked natural at it. But he's probably not playing tackle at the NFL level, I don't think. But I mean, he looked like he belonged all week, and he's
just mean, bro. He's got a different kind of punch to him, dude. I saw some of his clips. He is just mean.
Yeah. But yeah, it was a great week of practices out there, watching it, talking to players, talking to other media members, and
I need you to
feel for these guys.
I need you to run that sentence back from the top, but stop after the first part of the sentence, and then like right where the comma is.
Wait, what was it? It was a great week of watching players.
No, you said practice. It was a great. You sounded like
great week of practice.
I had to catch you, dude. I had to catch you in the Matt Nagy. I was like, oh my god,
you got me.
I saw your hat just cut off, and I saw the bald part of your head. Oh my god, it's Matt Nagy. But yeah, no, I'm happy that you got to go to that, because with all the work that you put in for the draft, to be able to see those guys up close and personal in a practice setting, all of it, going against the best of the best in competition is something that I'm super jealous of. And it looked like there was just a lot of other reporters there too, so you could bounce off ideas off people. Obviously, we had your friend join the show last week. That was good. He left a lot of insight for those people that watched the show last week as well. But yeah, Senior Bowl is behind us right now. We're in that lull of the draft where the Super Bowl is the only thing important in the NFL. All those guys are training in silence right now, getting ready for those pro days and getting ready for the NFL Combine, which the invites started getting sent out. I'm sure they're probably getting towards the end of that period. But, yeah, I am excited. We are in the rebuild phase of our offseason where we can just speculate and bullshit and simulate, and that's what we're going to do right now. We're going to hop in the little simulation machine. We're going to see what we can do to help get this Bears team back on track because in our eyes, on Bears Twitter, there are a million different ways. There's only one way that it's going to happen in Ryan Pace, but you won't hurt yourself if you just have a little bit of imagination and try to build like a Madden level roster, and I think that's what we're going to do today.
Oh yeah, that's definitely what we're going to do. We'll jump right in, Joe, if you can throw the screen up. We'll just we'll start off with looking at any roster cuts, which there aren't a lot of. I mean, we can start cutting the minimum contract guys and the practice squad guys, but there's not really much need to. I mean, what do you think, Bdon? I mean, I think there's one guy who'd probably consider is Cody Whitehair.
Yeah, what's the cap hit?
8.3, and they can save 5.8.
Okay.
Or wait, let's see. So it was 14.1, and this will cut it down to 8.3. So it saves 5.8 million.
Yeah, and that's not a guy that I think we're going to extend anyways.
Yeah, but outside of that, like there's not this sorted by position. There's not much big money that you're sitting here saying we get better by not having this guy. I mean, there's not much big money in general.
Yeah, I mean, the only other guy that's getting big money on that list is Eddie Jackson. He's not going fucking.
I mean, maybe Justin Jones, but like I think that's quality depth to keep on the roster.
Yeah, I wouldn't get rid of Jones. He did a good job last year.
You could consider cutting out Cairo Santos.
See, that's something. Listen, I don't hate that, or I don't hate at least bringing competition because. Yeah. If we're going to try and rebuild this team and have a winner, the last thing I want to worry about is our kicker missing extra points and making like 40-yard field goals. You know what I'm saying? And I know Cairo Santos has been good for us for the most part over the last few years, but kicker is a recency bias game. You don't get to get away with missing kicks for long in this league. And I think there should be some pressure on Cairo going into this next season.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. So that leaves us at 49 players on the roster, so not all these guys will be here. Like we'll have to come back and cut some.
Oh yeah, no, there'll be more.
Whatever, but we can go ahead and we can do this the backwards way, which is the less realistic but more fun way to do it.
Verdict: Super Bears, Super Bowl. Oh, Jesus.
So what I say we do is we jump into the draft and then do free agency after, just to try to make it
just so that we know what we got.
So let's see what we can get for this here number one pick. And
9 trade offers. Holy shit!
So Indy doesn't want to come up and get it in this simulator. I don't know why. Like they're never here as an option to come make the trade for the pick. It's always Seattle, Raiders, Steelers.
I've seen Vikings. Denver.
Yeah.
I did get Indy yesterday, and I'll show you off stream, or I can at least run through it. But I did one where I was just messing around, and dude, I traded everything. I just kept trading. I went full Ryan Pace.
All right, well, let's do it with Seattle. Does that sound good? Because that's Indy's apparently not interested.
That keeps us top 5, yeah. Top 5.
Yeah. Where do you think we should be getting for it?
All right, so listen, you can get away with murder on these things, dude. Check this out. All right, do the 5. Do we take the 2 first rounds this year, or do we go for the first round this year and maybe next year? Because I think if you trade with Seattle, there's some regression. I don't think they're as good as they are next year.
See if we can get all of them.
Yo, 84% chance.
No, if we get the second round with it, it ain't happening.
Maybe a third or a fourth. That's not bad.
Yeah, let's
3 first-round picks for the number
3 first
one.
rounds and what, a third?
I think that's a third, yeah. Maybe throw a fourth in there just for shits and giggles to see if it goes through. We won't know if we don't try.
Yeah. Let's see. Nope.
All right, drop it to the 153 yet. It'll give us Pittsburgh's pick.
Yep, we got it. So
That's fine.
Number 1 for number 5, 20, 83, 153, and next year's first.
See, listen, and Joey, I know you're listening. I know something we talked about, and obviously this is a simulation. It's not real life, but if we can get two firsts this year, the way this team needs to be rebuilt, we should be all in on that. And your guy's still there. I'm looking at him right now.
Is Jalen Carter? Is that what we're doing?
Isn't it? Wasn't it you that said Jalen Carter at all costs?
Well, yeah. I mean, that's my vote's Jalen Carter, but this is democracy. So,
Joey, where are you at? I know, Joey. Yeah, Joey, where are you at?
Why are you guys forcing me to be a part of this pick right now?
It's the first pick in the draft. You got to at least be a part of this one.
Look, I've always wanted Jalen Carter all throughout the year, and then I guess I wasn't all that impressed with the way he performed down the stretch. Maybe I don't know. I have to.
He was kind of dull in the CFP. I'll give you that.
And I mean, not that that's everything. That's not everything. You want a guy based off of traits and stuff like that too. And I think he does have that bulldog. I think the off the field issues kind of scare me a little bit too. I don't know. I mean, we can go that route though. Like that's what we need. The Bears need that. So I'm okay with it. I'm fine with it.
All right, send it through. Send the card in.
Jalen Carter.
All the way.
Now 20 is going to be the interesting one though. This is going to be a good one.
Ooh.
Dude, I've seen a lot of Zay Flowers lately, man. And honestly, I've seen him play a few times because BC plays Notre Dame every year. I'm not saying we're taking him here, but that's a guy that's been moving up draft boards. Oh, no.
JSN went 2 picks before.
Oh, no. To the in-division rival, the Lions. Yeah, I think this has got to be a receiver, right? Let's see what we got in the receivers. Addison.
Yeah, let's see.
Joey Porter, little son, play corner.
I mean, I'm all for Zay Flowers here. Let's see what they got on linemen, though. Anton Harrison, Broderick Jones.
We can get Cody Mock, and we'd have to trade up again later if we want to get Cody Mock.
Or let's see what we got on trades. Carolina is the only team that's interested at 20, but there's a lot of talent on this board. I'm kind of interested in trading down.
Yeah, we could trade.
So what do you think? 39, 61, and 93?
Just fleecing.
Think we could even get 114? Nah, let's not push it.
Maybe just drop like one of the day threeers in there.
Yeah. All right. You want to go for it? Go for the trade?
Let's go for it, yeah.
All right. So we just traded number 20 for number 39, number 61, and number 93.
So that's 2 second rounds and a third.
Yeah. All right. Man, it's hard to pass on Zay Flowers, though.
Tank, though. Jalen Hyatt.
Jalen Hyatt would be my dude here.
Yeah, I wouldn't hate that, yeah. It's early in accordance to the draft rankings here, but that dude's going to run like a 4.29 is what he said. That's what he's aiming for.
I'm okay with waiting on O-line and taking Hyatt here.
Yeah, I'd take Hyatt. Jalen Hyatt.
All right.
Put him with his boy Valus.
Let's see at 54 what we got here.
Dude, Chardonnay's a dog.
This is the spot where I'm pounding the table.
Bergeron.
I'm pounding the table for Matt Bergeron.
Okay. I see it.
And now, we're back on at 61. It's a lot of dudes. I like Zach Harrison to fill the edge spot. I like Keanu Benton, but also we already drafted an interior defender.
There's your guy from Northwestern. Can't pronounce his name.
Yeah.
But he's there.
Debawore. It's easier if you just say one of the name, his last name. I like Foskey a lot. I don't think Foskey's going to be here at 61.
I have no objection to that.
Yeah, I think it's a fat chance that Isaiah Foskey's there at 61.
And we love Notre Dame here with the Bears, man. They love Notre Dame.
Look, I just had to jump in real fast and say Foskey. I endorse that pick, and I also endorse Sam Laporta. If you guys are feeling,
I took him in my mock that I did the other day.
I just watched him for the first time yesterday, and I came away impressed with Laporta.
I mean, to be a player that plays on the Iowa offense that we're talking about in day 2 of the draft or day 1, like not day 1, probably day 2, but that offense is terrible. What is it, 25 points?
You can go fuck yourself.
So this dude right here, Javon Dexter Sr., might be one of my favorite players in the draft.
Okay.
I don't think he's going to make it to the mid-second round even, but like they have him at 92 on here, so what are you going to do? But let's go Foskey.
I'm with it. I will not say no.
Oh, crap. We only did the first 3 rounds.
So then could we sim it so that we do the ones after?
Yeah, let's
because you can just do rounds 3 or do rounds, the late rounds, I think. They gave us a D+ for Jalen Hyatt. They can go.
Yeah, let me write these in real quick into the spreadsheet here. So trade, we got number 5, number 20,
83.
83 and 153. Actually, let's just leave it at 83 because that way we don't have to worry about getting the same trade.
Yeah.
When we're fixing this. And then we traded number 20 and we got 39.61. Let's just call it that, 39.61. That's crap value, but that's going to make it easier for us to go fill in the blanks in the back half of this. And let's see, so we're going to input interior D line that we got number 5 was Jalen Carter. And then Jalen Hyatt at 39.
A draft of the Jalens. We're gonna have a lot of Jalens on our team, dude. We'll have the most Jalens in the league by far if we draft 2.
And Matt Bergeron at 54. We're at 54, is that right?
Yeah, 54.
Where did we get 54 from?
You got it.
Oh, I have it in here as 53. Making this, the draft picks weren't exactly clear yet, so I'm going to go in and update them after the Super Bowl.
And Foskey
at 61 was Foskey. I think that's a Super Bowl team already.
I mean, you just get more of those gold helmet guys, and usually things go your way. So, yeah, I was going to say you can probably select the rounds that we do.
So this is just going to sim the first 3 rounds. And then
that'll pick us up there.
Yeah. Or first 2 rounds, was it? Yeah, first 2. So we got the 3rd. We're going to start off with the 3rd round pick. And then
that's 54, I think.
So 64 we had not gotten to yet, right? Right. So we're at pick 64. Who we thinking here? What position are we thinking?
Okay, so I don't hate tight end. I don't hate Laporta there. I don't hate maybe some running back depth or maybe it's a player in the secondary in this spot.
Man, I do not. I don't love the positioning of the tight ends here because I love Will Mallory and I love Braden Willis. But I mean, I'll be okay with taking Laporta here.
See what we got at corner. Because this could be like prime spot to grab like your nickel or maybe another guy just for depth. Maybe another Jalen if you're just trying to build an army of Jalens.
Cube Blue Kelly is a guy who had a great Senior Bowl. Same with Riley Moss.
Riley Moss, yeah. Might be reaching there though.
Who's just their best player available?
Oh wait, hold on. I have a weirdo one. Go to quarterback, please.
Quarterback.
Yep. Your backup quarterback. You're looking right at him. Maybe not right.
Take him at number 64.
Maybe not right now, but later. Maybe I just need to make sure he's still there. I need to make sure he's still there. Hendon Hooker backing up Justin Fields. It's like what changes? Nothing.
This is how you know that we are just where we are as Bears fans. We get one decent quarterback and we want more. Like what, dude? I love Hendon Hooker. I'm like the Hendon Hooker guy, and no shot, Bdon.
We need him as a backup, bro.
So
that's the backup.
Man, this kind of hits a.
What about linebacker? Penei Sewell's little brother.
I could see Eberflus getting his way with a linebacker at this point.
I've seen Henry Toto and everybody that has ever made a mock draft, and I'm sick of it.
Yeah,
I'm sick of it. I bet you those same people don't know he's spent.
Is a freak. I don't know if he can stack and shed, so he's probably not a pick here. But he is fast.
Dude, honestly, hold on. Go back to the main screen where it's everything. Let's see what we have overall.
Carl Brooks.
I was just about to say, did we draft an edge yet or no? We drafted Foskey.
Yeah.
But we need two. We need two, though. So why not? Need a Carl. We don't have a Carl in-house. No in-house Carl. Carl is a strong name, and he's a matching guy. I don't hate it. And what is it, 63.5? 63 is his ranking, ADP 66.5. That's probably a good pick just right there on the spot. The defense needs the help. I don't hate it. Or the Northwestern kid. Oh, yeah, because Foskey's still in there.
I think of the Northwestern kid as a 3-tech, so, I'm not sure I'm calling him an edge. I can go with Carl Brooks here, though.
Let's get some Carl. Carl!
And then next up, we're at 103. And we got, let's see. I could do Kendre Miller.
Keaton Mitchell, dude. He's a dog.
Or Roshan. Or Zach Pickens. But, I mean, you need D-line. You need tons of D-line help. I really like Zach Pickens.
We just built the fattest mock draft ever. Just all dudes. Just all big boys.
Dude, that's what they're going to do, man. They're going to be heavy in the trenches.
Well, listen, draft. I've always said that you have to build a team from the inside out. You can have all the flashy skill players and all the good receivers and running backs, but it doesn't mean anything if you don't have the line to protect from. I'm with a chunky draft.
Dude, I'm here for Zach Pickens if you're down for it.
Let's do it. 0-1 all time against Notre Dame. I'm sure they will have fun with him when they meet him, Cole Kmet and Claypool and all them.
And now we're back up at 137. And
this is where Joey enters the screen and just beats the table for Riley Moss.
Because
we don't have a corner yet. We didn't pick a corner yet. Give us your Riley Moss minute, Joey. You're on mute.
I know I didn't have to do this, come on here and say this, but as you guys know, I watched a lot of Riley Moss. I will say, that dude is a stud. And I think anyone who's getting him in this part of the draft, and I know it would have been a reach earlier if you guys would have selected him, but this part of the draft,
Dude, it's round
Like,
5.
He's so sound.
Yeah.
He's so sound. He's a steal in this part of the draft. I absolutely believe that. Yeah.
That's good enough for me. We doing it?
Yes.
All right. Riley Moss it is on to pick 150. And, man, at this point.
Oh, I saw you scroll over him. I love me a little Deuce, but I think he's a little small for the NFL.
Yeah. I mean, I love Chandler Zavala. He's a great fit for this run scheme.
Did we get any receivers, or do you think it'll be more?
We got Jalen Hyatt, but
we got
honestly,
Hyatt.
They only have room to add one guy, right?
Yeah.
Mil Ekiyor as a center, developmental center could make sense, but I think Nick Broker here. I'd take Nick Broker here all day. He's just like a sound player.
He's
like
gamble.
Cody Whitehair. He's just good.
We could gamble though and wait because we have 178. He might still be there.
Yeah, I don't think he's making it out of the 4th round in reality.
In the real world.
Yeah.
For the purpose of this exercise.
Yeah. Who else you eyeballing here?
Dude, I don't know. It's a tough spot. I've seen Wicks, but I don't think we'll get another receiver like you said. Wicks is
I think
he was solid at Virginia.
If we want to sign a free agent, like that's a full receiver at that point.
Yeah.
Hey Q, zoom in on the running backs in this spot. You didn't take a running back yet, did you?
No, I did not.
Yeah, go to the running backs. Yeah. Kenny McIntosh. Chris Rodriguez, dude. Ibrahim. What? How are there this many good backs, dude? All these backs right here. Tavion Thomas, I saw him just absolutely annihilate Pac-12 defenses all year, and my sportsbook account.
I'm here for Kenny McIntosh at this point.
That's a guy who knows how to win too. You need that kind of winning culture. He's got the size.
I really like Chris Rodriguez too. I don't know, man.
Honestly, that 3 right there: McIntosh, Rodriguez, Ibrahim, even Deuce Vaughn. Deuce Vaughn's undersized. You could look at him as like a Darren Sproles. He even played at the same school Darren Sproles did, and that's what they look at him at in Kansas State. But literally that whole list right there, with the exception of I don't know too much about Lepke and Evans, those guys are all consistent 1,000-yard rushers in college football. Obviously, they're not going to be as good in the NFL.
Is Rodriguez, can he pass protect? Can he catch passes? Because that's what our worry is with Khalil Herbert, right?
I think he can catch. I'm not sure about the pass protection.
Understanding of McIntosh is he's pretty ready to just jump in the NFL, for pass pro, and that's my understanding at least. I haven't watched.
I think we go McIntosh too, because that's a guy that, I mean, if you're playing at Georgia, even if you're not one of the good guys, you are still surrounded by so much that the work ethic, all that stuff that goes into being a champion, you don't have to worry about that with a guy like McIntosh. Yeah. Those other guys are all part of teams that, with the exception of Deuce Vaughn,
I saw him come up in the stands and sign autographs for kids at the Senior Bowl, which was pretty cool of him.
Yeah, those are the type of things though that'll separate you at this point in the draft. Yeah. You look at how they looked at Malik Willis last year before the draft. That helped him a lot. The way the kind of guy he was, especially at the quarterback position, can't be a shitbag and get drafted high in the NFL. Yeah, I'm in on McIntosh. Right. Let's ride.
Sweet. Now we are going to pick 178, and let's see.
You can get your guy. You can get your guy right here.
Did we take another edge?
We took 2. Yeah, took Foskey.
Okay. Because I like Ali Gay too as a developmental.
We took Carl Brooks from Bowling Green,
and I love Will Mallory, but I'm good with Broker if you are.
Yeah.
All right. Come to the deal.
Come to the sip.
Pick 199.
Bobo. I just love
Mallory.
I just love Jake Bobo, dude. He's 6'17". He is an absolute unit, dude. He makes no sense.
So at this point, what you got, Joey?
No, just real quick, just Jesus, sorry about that. Real quick, just a little errors and omission part. Chris Rodriguez, I thought he was a better pass catcher. They really didn't use him that way in college, so I like the McIntosh part of that.
He's a between the tackles guy, yeah.
So at this point, I don't even think we can like talk about looking for needs. It's just like
BPA, yeah, BPA.
good.
Dude, all I ask is give me Jake Bobo and put him in on the red zone.
Okay. I like McClendon Curtis because I accidentally called him McCurtis Clendon when I was interviewing him at the Senior Bowl, and he still talked to me, so that was nice of him.
McCurtis Clendon. We'll go Bobo for some size.
Yeah.
And then our Mr. Irrelevant, number 220.
Let's see.
Kuntz. Little Zach Kuntz.
So we got to go linebacker here, right? Like, we haven't taken a linebacker, and it's Matt Eberflus.
Drake Thomas.
Let's see what linebacker.
Yeah, let's see what the whole list is. Just a lot of ACC, North Carolina State, Pitt. Is that Fordham, bro? Fordham.
Yep.
Shout out Ryan Greenhagen. Fordham represent.
You got some names right there, man.
Carlton Martial.
Let's see. What are you thinking here? You want to get your backup QB?
Yeah, let's see what we got in the QB room. Oh my God! Don't even say yep. You know who I'm going to say.
DTR.
Yep. Just go all UCLA at the end of the draft. If DTR is there in the 7th round, you have to draft him, right? Or what is that, 6th round?
Yeah. I mean, that seems like an easy pick, but it depends who's on the board.
Now, listen, when people see this draft, they're going to think I drafted Foskey and maybe you drafted Bobo and DTR, but it is the other way around, my friends.
I swear you're going to say Max saw Jim Duggan.
Max Duggan was a unit for us all year long, and I love him for that, but I just don't know about him in the NFL. And I think that okay, so I said it earlier, obviously, with Hooker, and I've said it before with Hooker, where it's like that's a guy that if we're going to have a quarterback like Justin Fields, you want to have someone that can come in and seamlessly run the offense that's similar to him, has that same skill set, that can put together the same game plans. Now, if you get a guy like DTR, a guy like Hendon Hooker, these are those type of guys that I would way rather have back up Justin Fields when they're ready to do so than the people that we've seen so far. Dalton, Simeon, Nathan Peterman. Like, Simeon's not a bad guy. I don't hate Trevor Simeon. I almost combine the two of the names. He's a guy that's seen a lot in this league. But if you can get an athlete in there, maybe stash him on the practice. Well, I'm not going to say practice squad because he'll get picked up. Maybe just stash him on there as QB3 because we did have 3 all year this year. Let's do it. Find Nathan Peterman a new home.
So, I mean, yeah, I mean, I think that I don't know if you're going to keep 3 quarterbacks again. That's my only
we might not.
With it.
We might not. I'm just saying, though, since we did have it last year, fuck it, why not run it back with a guy that if Fields goes down, we have someone with that same skill set. We don't have to completely change the way that we do everything. Because if you think about it like this, football might be the only sport that happens. And if that happens in basketball or baseball or hockey, you're instantly trying to put another guy in that position. But because of rosters in football, you only get 2 or 3 quarterbacks, and most teams only carry 2. So it's like it's hard to find that guy that has the same skill set, you know?
Yeah, no, it is. I mean, I think there's definitely value to it. So with this spreadsheet, it's not very – I couldn't figure out a good way to do, like, if you draft multiple defensive linemen to show that here. So I just had to put, like, that second defensive lineman at linebacker and one of the edge rushers at center instead, like, for where the pick is actually going, unfortunately. Maybe next year I'll find a better way, but for now, that's all I got. So let's go ahead and look at the depth chart that we got. Let's start filling this out and see where our holes are.
Yeah, Fields, Simeon.
And then DTR will be 3rd.
Yeah.
So Khalil Herbert, and then we are talking pick number 150.
So we really
McIntosh.
are just not even going to give Monty the time of day. I hate this franchise, dude.
Yeah. You just did it with me.
Scroll back up
without even thinking about it.
Scroll back. Well, dude, I hate everything. Yeah, buddy. Claypool and maybe Bayless, right? No, maybe
Well,
Bayless.
let's just leave that blank for now, because we'll probably sign somebody.
Yeah, tight ends, Cole Kmet, who is going to get an extension too.
Cole Kmet, and then did we draft a tight end? No, we did not draft a tight end. Okay, so backup tight end is a spot that we want to look at because we got Jake Tongas and Chase Allen right now behind him. So at left tackle, we can just go ahead and slot Matt Bergeron, or actually no, Braxton Jones. Come on, what am I thinking? Left guard, let's just leave that blank for now.
Yeah, let's leave that blank.
Center, let's leave blank. Right guard, Tevin Jenkins. Right tackle, we'll just put Matt Bergeron right in there, and he was pick number 53.
Yes.
And then interior D-line, Jalen Carter, number 5 overall, is going to slot right in the first spot. Second spot, let's leave open for now. And then edge rusher, let's see, what pick was Foskey?
Foskey was 63.
61.
And Brooks was 64. We just hammered both those out right then and there.
Let's say Brooks is going to be a backup. So let's just leave that open for now, for the moment. You got Jack Sanborn.
Yeah, you know who number 1 is at linebacker, Jack Sanborn, baby.
Got JJ at corner, Phil Dorr at corner. Let's just leave a blank at nickel. And then we got Eddie Jackson and Jaquan rocking the back end. Our boy, Mr. Manners.
Yeah,
Legatron.
Someone by the name of Patrick will be snapping the ball to Trenton Gill. We just don't know who. Patrick
Let's just make our first free agent signing. Patrick
Scales, yeah. Just drop him right in.
Let's just make that happen.
Yeah, it was already listed there. Jesus.
I just put
if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Patrick Manley to Patrick Scales to whatever the next Patrick may be, but that is just something that's constant with this team.
And let's fix the easiest spot, or the next clearest spot. Kicker.
Definitely not Maher. Definitely not.
I think Greg Joseph or Matt Gay. One of those two.
I'd say Joseph.
Okay, Greg Joseph it is. Welcome to
There's
Greg Joseph.
A lot of former Bears on that list. There was Pinheiro and Gould.
Robbie Gould and Eddie Pinheiro on there.
And Badgley, too. Badgley, remember? Game winner.
Yeah, and Badgley. And Santos, if we're being real, because he got cut.
Yeah, because we canned him.
By us.
Cairo, your key card doesn't work.
So now next up here, let's look at wide receiver. This is probably the most interesting spot. Like, do you want Michael Thomas? I'm not really that crazy about it.
You want the problems associated with Michael Thomas is what you're really asking, you know?
Yeah. I mean, so Robert Schmitz has been selling me on Alan
Lazard.
Not going to lie. Because he knows this offense. He can play all 3 roles in it. He can jump in and fit in wherever you need him to. So wherever someone goes down, he can just fill right in that spot. And I think that just makes a lot of sense.
And I think he has a little bit of ill will towards the Packers. I think he's kind of pissed off at the way things worked out, because if you look at the Packers for what they are, it's going to sound salty coming from a Bears fan, but you have to look at it like this. This is a team that has had 2 Hall of Fame quarterbacks in the last 30 years, only won 2 Super Bowls. Alan Lazard was not on that team that won the Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers. He was on a team that saw a lot of pain and bullshit in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? So I think that he's a guy that maybe wants to stay in the division, maybe wants to take that trip to Lambeau and beat the Green Bay Packers 2 times a year. But that could just be me.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm right there with you on that.
Yeah.
I think he wants to beat the Packers. I mean,
yeah,
they've made a lot of moves that didn't involve him, and we're just kind of like, this guy's here, but we'll be fine without him.
Fuck him, right?
All right, Alan Lazard it is. And then, so if you notice on the spreadsheet here, your year 1 cap hits just get filled in. So your annual average value, and then your year 1 cap hit just get filled in right here. And if you want to look at the free agents a bit more easily, you can go to this free agent tab, and they're sorted by position, and you can just see all the free agents that are out there with the contract projections. except for the ones that are from PFF Brad, where they say CPFF. So go click on his article. But let's go ahead and get back to it. So we got our wide receiver 3 in the Lizard Man. And so that means we can just slot in. What pick was Hyatt?
I think he becomes the number 1, though, right? Like, if we sign Lazard, wouldn't it be under the impression that he's wide receiver 1? I think.
Kinda. I mean, because I think he's just a guy who's going to play everywhere and like all over. Because Mooney might be higher paid than him come next year. Like, he's getting an AAV of $11 million. Mooney might be making more than that by next year.
Yeah, because he's going to get that friends and family discount because he's done here.
Yeah, and then let's see. Then Bayless. We'll have the Tennessee connection with Jalen Hyatt and Bayless. And then EQ is going to finish out the roster. He's not going anywhere because of his special teams ability. So we have Lucas Patrick still on the O-line and Alex Leatherwood. I'd rather neither of them start, but we might need Lucas Patrick to start somewhere. Let's see. Let's save O-line for last. Let's see where the cap space is when we get there. On the interior. What was that?
I'll say we need a corner, a linebacker, and then some more D-line.
Yeah. Well, we have some D-line, too. We've still got Justin Jones here and Zach Pickens that we need to fill in where they're going to go. But I just hate to start 2 rookies on the interior, you know. And then, I mean, you could start Justin Jones, but he's not really a nose tackle. So that's kind of – I'd rather they sign a nose tackle and have Pickens be the backup nose tackle. Let's take a look at
don't throw him immediately into the fire.
So Rocky Asin's a guy who stands out to me just because of the Eberflus connection. Eberflus drafted him. As soon as Eberflus left, he got traded away. But he doesn't play nickel though, and I'd rather find a nickel in here if we can. Like Sean Murphy Bunting, I think played some nickel. Man, I'm not seeing a lot of nickel guys here. Actually, come to think of it.
Where's a Bryce Callahan and a Cravon LeBlanc stereo or prototype when you need them?
Bryce Callahan's right here.
Oh, Brycey, what's going on? Do we get a little Bryce reunion? I don't know what he's been up to as much because I know he was in LA with the Chargers, and I think he was with the Broncos as well.
He was with the Chargers last year, I think.
Miss you, Bryce.
So, our best bet might be to go outside corner and tell Kyler he's a nickel.
Just push him inside.
Looking at this, which I hate to do because he played so well. Byron Murphy, he played a lot of nickel. I mean, they have so much freaking cap space. Dude, I was just going to say, are we pushing against the cap? And then I see, oh, no, we still have $63 million.
Yeah, no, we got plenty of money, bro. We got to spend it all.
Let's just go for it with Byron Murphy Jr. He plays nickel.
I don't hate
He's
it.
with Arizona. He was a first-round pick. I don't know why they're letting him walk, if I'm being honest. He's only 25 years old.
Yeah, take that. He's Velus Jones' age. He's basically a rookie.
Which maybe they're not letting him walk, but for our purposes right now,
he's our
seems like a good enough reason to sign him for me. How about linebacker? I mean, we have the guy, right? We
Bobby Okereke, Bobby Okereke.
And then, let's see here. So, let's go ahead and fill in Okereke.
We've signed like 4 instant starters, and we still have 50 mil. This is
it's disgusting.
This is ridiculous. I said it earlier though to a buddy. Ryan Poles put together the most flawless tanking roster in the history of sports, bro.
He did.
Because if you think of it, dude, we competed in so many games and at least gave like some moments where we're like, okay, we're a competent football team. And then obviously the end of the game happened and we didn't win. But
yeah. Over at edge rusher, I'm leaning towards Ogbonnia Okoronkwo just because he's just a solid player. And I don't love this edge class,
Yeah, no, it's not like the names at the top are all past their prime.
Yeah, and
Artie, Ngakwe, Clowney, Fowler.
yeah,
Abukum wouldn't be a bad guy.
yeah.
He's
Right
pretty
now,
young, right?
I'm between Amenahu, Ibukum, and Okoronkwo. Those are the three guys who I'm eyeing. Amenahu just had the injury though in the playoffs, so that takes me off him a little bit to being between Samson Ibukum and Ogbanya Okoronkwo.
Nobody wanted to like talk about how insanely awesome all those names are.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say I'm with Abukum solely off the fact because I am dyslexic, not actually, and I just can't pronounce names. So I'm going Samson Abukum.
All right, let's go Samson Ibukum.
And because he used to play for the Rams, I've seen a lot of him with the Rams, bro. I don't know why they let him go.
Let's go ahead and fill him in there, and then let's fill in the rest of this. So we got Carl Brooks. What pick was he?
He was 64, yeah.
I think it was 64. So let's go ahead and just put the rookies back to back there. And then Travis Gibson.
Yeah,
we'll also
Travis
have Dominique Robinson behind him.
More of a
I don't know if
rotation guy.
Muhammad will hang around or not, but and we got to figure Sterling Weatherford and DeMarcus Gates can be the backup linebackers. I mean, you might still want to sign a guy to play Sam, but honestly, I think you're pretty decent there. Over here at corner, you have Kendall Vildor. I'm fine with letting Michael Oemudia compete for a roster spot. And then probably still need to sign another corner, like an upside guy. Wait, we got Riley Moss. Yeah, Riley Moss is our last corner. Pick 137. Where are we at? There we go. And then at safety, we got Hicks. And we got really no one else behind him.
Maybe we go sign one. Let's go sign one. Why not? We have the money.
I know exactly who we're signing. DeAndre Houston Carson.
Oh yeah, you can't let DAC walk.
Yeah, keeping DeAndre Houston Carson, going to be a lifelong Bear. So we still got a hole at nose tackle and then somewhere on the interior O line. So let's take a look at nose tackle. And I wanna do Deron Payne so badly, but I just don't think he's getting out of Washington. I really don't. Draymond Jones or Dalvin Tomlinson are probably my next guys who I'm eyeing here. Because Hargrave's great, but he's probably more the 3-tech. And we got that with Jalen Carter already. So what do you think?
Joey?
That's a good debate, though, because honestly, you guys went in reverse fashion with the draft first. Yeah. If you're the Bears...
Oh, it's a lot tougher to be the Bears and do it the right way, the right order.
It's super difficult because, I mean, number one, you don't really want to bank on what you're selecting in the draft unless you're taking one of those top picks, which the Bears have the flexibility to do. But I would probably just go after that number 1 3-tech in the free agent pool because of how big of a need it is for the Bears, and then you can do really whatever you want. In the draft, but that's looking at it hindsight from what you guys
Let me say this. My issue with Javon Hargrave is he is 30 years old, playing 40% of the snaps in Philly because they rotate that D-line constantly. Does his production stay the same when he's playing 70% of the snaps? Or does it, does not being as fresh, does that hurt or help him? And at 30 years old, I'm just not sure how, a guy like Draymond Jones is more interesting to me because he's 26 years old. He's coming off an injury, but he's a guy who you could have for 4 or 5 years. Whereas Javon Hargrave, you're talking 2-3 years, and you're looking for a new player.
He doesn't look too expensive too, so I think we can go with Draymond.
All right, Draymond, it is. I think he's a good fit in this scheme. And then we'll go ahead and put Zach Pickens, who is pick 103. Is that right? Yeah, 103. Right behind him at nose tackle. And then we got Justin Jones backing up the rotation. And they'll probably still have might add another guy or two in there as backup, but we got Larry Borum at the swing tackle to play either side. Valuable to have. We can pencil Alex Leatherwood in the backup guard. I think that's pretty clear. And then
Center and guard, center and left guard.
We got to sign at least one center or guard, maybe two. I think the easiest guy at guard is Samalo. He's missed some games over the years, but he's an outstanding pass protector, and Ian Cunningham is very familiar with him as a Philly guy. But another way you could go is looking at Andre Dillard. If you really want to go the Philly route, take a flyer on him. That's not like a blue chip signing, but it's like this guy might still be good, and he's never really played.
28.
Yeah, I mean, he's just been on the bench there in Philly for 4 years, and like their swing guy, he just comes in when they need him to. And at center, yeah, Riley Moss might be the number one cornerback on the depth chart.
Fucking Joey, man.
Let's see. At center, I really like the idea of Ethan Pochik.
Okay.
If Cleveland lets him go. So you can go ahead with Pochik.
So we're finally done with Sam Mustipher.
I know you're sad about it, but
it's unfortunate, man. Rest in peace, not dead, just not a Bear anymore.
I mean, really, you can afford to sign both Samalo and Pochik, but odds are some of these contracts the Bears are going to have to pay a premium on.
Yeah.
They're not going to get them at straight market value. They're probably going to get them above market value because, one, they can't afford to miss the punch, and two, we're a 3-win football team until we're not. Yeah. People don't love coming to 3-win football teams. So just for the sake of like what's real, let's pencil in Lucas Patrick here with where did I put Broker? Pick 178 behind him. Nick Broker might be starting at left guard by a few games in. I think that he's a guy who can start early, but for now, let's just leave Patrick starting, and we got Broker behind him for when we need him, and we can put Patrick in at backup center as well. So like you have that. What I really like about this line layout, you have so much flexibility. You have Tevin Jenkins at guard, who has played tackle before. At right tackle, you have Matt Bergeron, who can play either guard spot or either tackle spot. You have Lucas Patrick, who can play either guard spot or center. You have Nick Broker right behind. Like, there's just a lot of depth on this line that I'm really excited about.
Yeah.
They can withstand some injuries and be just fine. This is like a dream.
Which before we had one injury, and it's Sam Mustipher to the rocket ship.
Yeah, I mean, you can fill in guys wherever you need to. Braxton Jones goes down. You move Matt Bergeron over to left tackle, slide Larry Borum into right tackle. You're still okay. You know, like that is just exciting to me. That type of flexibility on the line to just be able to slide stuff around.
Just
and no talent wise, you're going to be okay. We still need to sign a backup tight end though, and we only have $23 million left in cap space, so I'm a little worried about it.
Let's see what we got.
You guys feel okay with Patrick starting at left guard then? Because I don't know about that.
I'm okay with Nick Broker taking his job as soon as he can. Let me put it that way.
Okay, perfect.
And I'm also okay with.
It's questionable though that. I mean, not questionable that you think that he will, but like going into the season, are we okay with Patrick starting if that's, because I mean, we talk about rebolstering this line. That doesn't really, for me, like going into the season, I'm not feeling great about Lucas Patrick starting anywhere.
So ultimately, like where my head's at, I think they're going to give Patrick a good chance to start somewhere. Like they brought him here as their guy to really be what solidifies this O-line. I don't know if I love the fact that he's starting, but I just think he's going to. I mean, the other thing that we could look at it with is we could say they signed Samalu or Ben Powers, who has one of the best names I've ever seen and always makes me think of The Simpsons because when Homer changes his name to Max Powers, Ben Powers is like his son, I
It's
guess.
just a simple name, Ben Powers.
Yeah,
Austin
it's just a
Powers, Max
badass name.
Powers.
But you could look at doing that and keeping Patrick at center. But what I really like about adding a center is just the fact that you're going to end up with the flexibility, so much more flexibility with that, with your weak spot being at left guard than with your weak spot being at center. Because, like, if Patrick just stinks at center, I don't have a good backup plan here. You know, I'm just kind of stuck with it. If he stinks at left guard, I have two other guys who I feel comfortable with slotting in there. Like whether it's Bergeron kicking inside to guard and Borum going to right tackle, or any other, like there's other combinations you can throw out here that give you that flexibility. So with the idea that Patrick is starting somewhere, I'm most comfortable with him starting at left guard.
It's a lot easier to replace that left guard
Yeah.
spot if you have the rest of the line bolstered. 100% agree.
Yeah. Now, if they're not loyal to Lucas Patrick being a starter, that kind of changes things too, because you have the money where you can sign a guard too.
Yeah.
It's just a question of whether you're.
Let's see who we can get at this tight end spot.
Yeah, let's take a look. Let me fix that all back up. So you want a guy who can block because it's your backup tight end, right?
Oh, man, we're going to turn into the Chicago Packers, aren't we? Robert Tonyan.
So let's just go for Mercedes Lewis.
Yeah, just so that we don't have to
Ageless
pack
wonder.
it. It's like 55 years old.
Is Foster Moreau a good blocker?
I'm not 100% on that. I only ever see him catching the ball.
So do I, but I only see like any tight ends catching the ball. Sam Laporta dreams.
Yeah.
We missed him. We took our shot and we missed.
O.J. Howard. Jesus, what a fall from grace for O.J. Howard.
I wonder how Foster Moreau is as a blocker, because if he's a solid blocker, I'd love that signing. But if he's not, it just doesn't really make sense, right?
Yeah, that guy has to be a good blocker.
Let me take a look.
What about Adam Shaheen? Yeah.
Yeah, Adam Shaheen's a great blocker.
Adam Shaheen reunion on the way.
Let's see. Foster Moreau.
Irv Smith.
Yeah, he's not a good blocker. So
Mike Gesicki can do the gritty.
at this point, can he?
Yeah. It's not good. I never said it was good, but
I mean, you could add Dalton Schultz, but there's rumors about extending Komet this offseason. At that point, you're just locking in a lot of long-term money at tight end. I almost think your best bet is going back to a guy like Ryan Griffin again.
yeah, and just know that he's not going to get the ball.
Yeah, or like Jeff Swaim. He can
Cowboy
block.
Leonard.
I know that. I know Jeff Swaim can block. You don't
Cowboy
stick
Leonard.
around in Tennessee this long with Mike Vrabel if you can't block.
Ryan Griffin still should have never been blamed for that miss in the end zone that game.
Yeah, no.
Just my 2 cents. We know his limitations.
Max Williams, a guy who can block and maybe has a little bit of juice. A little younger. I mean, he's 29.
Manhurst can block.
Can he? All I've ever heard about Manhurst is how disappointing he is as a pass catcher.
Yeah, no, he just can't catch the ball. 31, that old bastard. Just go all Notre Dame in the tight end room or what? Just get Kyle Rudolph.
Here, let's take a look, actually. Let's use this part. So at tight ends, Dalton Schultz probably isn't a good option. Josh Oliver, too small. Or I'm mistaking him for Irv Smith. He actually might. Josh Oliver might fit, but let's keep moving. Irv Smith is too small. That's what I was getting him mixed up with. Go with Drew Sample. He's got one of the most plain names I've ever heard. Yeah, I know he can block.
Sounds like a tight end's name, Drew Sample.
Yeah, that's a Madden created tight end.
He is now our TE2.
Drew Sample it is. The most exciting signing of the year. So we got Drew Sample there at the backup tight end. And let's see where that leaves our roster. So we're good on QB. We got 3 running backs. It'd be smart to add another, though, don't you think?
If we got the money, why not?
Yeah. Let's see. So we got a good pass catching back. We got a good, one cut back. It's a third string. You can probably get a little more interesting with it, like looking for more of a gadget player, don't you think?
Yeah, but I don't see. Well,
you got Boston Scott. That's a gadget player.
How old is he though? He's got to be getting up there.
28.
And listen, he's scoring on Sunday. Boston Scott.
Once you're talking about a third string running back, you're just talking 1-year deals. So.
Yeah. No, yeah, he's scoring on Sunday for sure. I already saw it.
I'd be fine with Travion Williams, let's just do Justin Jackson to make the people happy. I'd be happy.
Northwestern.
Oh yeah, I'd be very happy with Justin Jackson.
Him and Simeon.
Yeah,
full purple helmets with it.
And then, so we've got 5, 6, 7, 8. We're carrying a lot of linemen. Could probably still even use another just back of the roster interior D lineman. Like Morgan Fox or Derek Nottie. Or let's just do Armand Watts because
he's already
that makes a lot of sense. So now at this point, our roster's pretty full. We got 71 players here.
What could go wrong?
We got to sign the fullback, though.
Clint Rakovich.
Bring Blasingame back. Sorry, not Rakovich.
Damn it.
And then, I think our roster's set. We're going to have to cut a bunch of these guys.
Yeah, but
we don't need to go through that right now. That's pretty clear. The guys we signed are going to be here. So we signed Ethan Pochik at center, Byron Murphy Jr. at cornerback, Samson Ibukam at edge. We also drafted Riley Moss at cornerback and drafted 2 edge rushers in Isaiah Foskey and Carl Brooks. Re-signed Kari Blasingame. On the interior D-line, we signed Draymond Jones and Armand Watts, and then we drafted Jalen Carter and Zach Pickens. Signed Greg Joseph for kicker, Bobby Okereke at linebacker. Let's just add another linebacker while we're here, just because they're going to need another.
Josh Woods reunion tour. Special team.
Where he's on here.
Yo, where's Manti Te'o?
Joey with his girlfriend.
Joey left right away. Anthony Walker.
Let's just throw Kwiatkowski in there because we like him.
They'll sign Walker though. He was.
I didn't know you wanted me to stick around for that part.
Where was he? Oh, Josh Woods is right there. That's
Josh Woods reunion tour.
And Patrick Scales coming back at long snapper. We signed Justin Jackson at running back and drafted Kenny McIntosh. Signed DeAndre Houston Carson at safety, Drew Sample at tight end, Alan Lazard at wide receiver, and we also drafted Jalen Hyatt and Jake Bobo at wide receiver. I think overall, this depth chart looks pretty sick. Like our scores are average. We got a lot of young talent out there in the rookies.
And we drafted DTR too.
And rookies aren't going to have a PFF grade. Yes, and we drafted DTR. I forgot that one.
Yes. DHC, DTR, all the boys in the building. I think it's a solid team. I don't have any objections.
I'm very happy with this roster. So, yeah, that covers it for the draft simulator. Y'all go check it out. Let us know what you do different. Show us what you do different. Tweet it out. Tweet it at me. Let's see it. I'll retweet it.
Yeah, we definitely want to see what you guys are able to work with the simulator. We just thought that what better way to get more people in tune with it than to do one on stream. And as you see, the roster is what? It was at 72 or 73 when we finished.
Like yeah, 72. we're at so we need to cut down a bunch of these guys. Like, Doug guys. Kramer's gone. Harrison Hand's probably gone. Greg Stroman probably gone.
Payne.
What was that?
I said Payne.
Yeah, no. So someone gave me flack for cutting Jalen Jones the other day. I was like, but Greg Stroman.
Yeah.
And then let's see here. So Jalen Holmes going to be gone. Donovan Jeter. I don't know. Maybe he's really good, but I just don't know much about him. Terrell Lewis probably not going to be sticking around. Let's see. Kuoni Deng. Again, maybe he's really good, but I don't know enough about him to say he is. Tyler Carter's probably on the practice squad. Kellen Deesh probably back on the practice squad. Treston Ebner, if they sign a running back and draft one, he's going to the practice squad most likely. And then Jake Tongas. One of Jake Tongas or Josh Allen will be gone. Actually, I think Tongas probably stays, and Chase Allen's probably on the practice squad. And then Darius Fountain, Simba Webster, and Joe Reed. So where's that put us? Gets us down to 56. So we still got 3 more guys to cut out of here. Which, looking through this is probably the tougher part now.
Yeah, cut day. That's the worst day every year. I always say that. That's the worst day of the year.
I mean, maybe you say AQM. We don't need you anymore. You still got 2 more to cut. That's tough. I mean, Jalen Jones is probably gone.
Yeah, I was going to say, Joey wants that one. We'll do that for Joey.
And you got 1 more that you got to get out of here. It's probably one of Sterling Weatherford, DeMarcus Gates. It's probably one of those 2 who are gone.
Yeah, probably Sterling Weatherford, just because he's
or maybe you just don't sign Nick Kwiatkowski, or fill in whatever linebacker you were interested in, or Josh Woods. That's what I ended up putting.
Yeah, maybe we just get rid of Josh Woods.
Yeah, so now you're down to 53. Oh my God, they still have $45 million in cap space.
Jesus Christ.
How is that even possible? Ugh.
Insanity. This is our roster. We're sticking to it.
Hopefully we spend enough money to not have to just give cash to the Players Association. But
yeah. Any final thoughts on this roster?
I would be stoked with this. I mean, your running back room is really talented at this point and deep. Wide receiver, I mean, adding Jalen Hyatt would just be a dream. And then I've already waxed poetic about this offensive line, but this defensive line, I mean, Jalen Carter, Draymond Jones, Foskey, and Abukum, there's a lot to like there.
You got interchanging parts on the edge, too, which is always good.
Yeah. And then the secondary, I mean, adding Byron Murphy's huge in my book. I mean, I think he had a bit down of a year last year, but like he was looking like a really good player his first few years in the league. I think that's a great signing.
I'm with it. He's athletic as fuck, too.
Yeah. And then, bringing back P. Scales, always a good thing.
Anyone named Patrick that can play the long snapper position has a home on the Chicago Bears. But, yeah, I think that'll about do it. I mean, this ran a little bit long, a little bit rampant. Midnight for our East Coast listeners.
Yeah.
We all talked about Super Bowl, who we think is going to win. Talked a little bit about Senior Bowl. Got into the whole simulation. And let me tell you, if there was a rabbit hole episode of Bears on Tap, this is that rabbit hole. I hope you enjoyed all the different draft picks and all the different free agent signings. Got the roster up to 73 people, brought it back down to 53. See what you do with the model. See which way you want to work it to get your free agents and your draft picks in the room. And let's just hope that the man in charge, Mr. Sleepy Poles, finds a way to get it done in the spring for us. But, yeah, it's a hell of a model. I don't know how the heck you put it together. Hats off to you. Do you have any final thoughts before we wrap up for today?
Super Bears Super Bowl, man. Says it right here.
I was going to say
Bears Super Bowl.
If there's one thing we can count on, Quinn, it's always for the slogans and mottos. But, yeah, what a fucking roster that would be. Obviously, it won't be the exact same, but maybe we'll see some of those guys here in the near future. I need more water.
If only it was as easy as saying this guy's going to sign with the Bears and that's it. Because that's what the spreadsheet is. It's just saying, he's going to sign there. Of course he is.
My beverage ran out on me and I just died right there. But, yeah, other than that, throw Quentin a follow at Butkus Stats. Throw Joey a follow at Joey Knows Nothing. And you can follow me at Bdon 300 and obviously the main account at Bears on Tap. Enjoy the Super Bowl this weekend. Last real weekend of NFL football, obviously until the fall. There are a lot of new options to watch. In the meantime, the XFL comes back, I think, next week, and the USFL back in the spring as well. So there's more football to be had. We'll be here to cover the draft and the free agency for you guys extensively. And I got my writing account back, so I'm going to be putting the pen to paper. I know. I'm back. I'm so back. It's finally – I had a lot of shit going on, didn't have time to write, but draft season. I may not be as involved as Quinn, but I do enjoy a good draft article or 100, so nothing in between. But enough of this episode. Take a look at the simulation. Take a look at the PFF one as well. And get back with us next week. Enjoy the Super Bowl this weekend, and bear down.
Bear down.